Hello, Julie Kay, Thrive Coach, Inspirational Speaker, and Minister. And I'm here today for another part in my series called Empowering You to Take Back Control of Your Life. God bless you. I'm glad you're watching this video. Just want to let you know from the top, I'm experimenting with some different lighting. Decided to take my glasses off today, which I usually wear all the time, even when I'm dancing and signing now. So if you're seeing the screen turn different colors or noticing that, I won't go into details, but we are going to try to get through this. This is actually a redo of my last time I did this video on breathing, and I believe it's a really important topic to talk about how we, do have control of a lot of things in our life, more than we realize, and one of that's our breathing. And it's very common, I think, that in our stress and in our rough times, dark times, loss and grief, trauma, just very stressful times, that we don't always realize what we have control over that could help our health, that could help our peace level, that could help us to have a better relationship with God, which I'm all about. And I want to share a physical thing today because every other week I try to do the topic more on something physical that we can work on. And then the other weeks is our mental and our emotional part of us. So today it's on deep breathing. And one article that I found on this is by Harvard Health Publishing. They talk about how deep breathing is breath focus. And another word for deep breathing is belly breathing or abdominal breathing. And then there's even other word names for it besides that. But they're all the same idea. So I want to share a little bit of my story that I struggled with anxiety a whole lot on a daily basis, not just once in a while, especially when raising my kids. Raising 4 children is a lot, and being married is a lot, but it's all a blessing. But it's not always easy, and we don't always handle that correctly. So I was very much trying to, keep things in order and keep things under control, etc. And sometimes I went overboard with that, and I had a lot of anxiety. So we are naturally affected or respond to stressors in life by either flight, freeze, or flight. Flight is, in a sense, what I would call where we just shut down or we disassociate. So I'm not going to go into great detail on the description of those, but I was more of a fighter. Not that I physically fought all the time, but I did verbally want things to be corrected right away and got very verbal and very uptight and stressed out. So that's what I used to do a lot. Still have to work on it. We all have our different ways of dealing with stress. So, but when we're constantly heightened, as this article says, we can have health problems. We can have immune system problems, and that's what I have. Part of mine is from childhood antibiotics and ear infections because I was a swimmer. I've gone over some of that on I think it was my second video, so I'm not going to rehash that today. But we can help our health. And I always am proactive to try to do things to help my health. So when I realized the deep breathing was a really beneficial thing, I incorporated it into my life, and it's made a big difference. So, but some of the things that the health problems also cause is an increase in anxiety and depression. So if you're experiencing that, I would encourage you to work on deep breathing. So they call it the relaxation response. And it's a state of profound rest that can be elicited in many ways. That is what we need, is relaxation to help decrease our stress and bring better health. So with that, we are going to practice our deep breathing a few times, but I'm going to go ahead to the sign for breath because I always teach you all a few signs, as you know, if you're watching this series. So today I'm going to do breath and then your presence. And that ties into the song that I am bringing up today, which is Great Are You, Lord, done by many different artists. I will have a link in the description, like I always do, for you to click on if you want to. But Great Are You, Lord does not only say that, it says, it's your breath in my lungs. So I pour out my praise, pour out my praise. It's your breath in my lungs. So I pour out my praise to you. I've done praise in other videos, so I'm not going to re-go over that. But I believe when I sign a song and it repeats itself, I like to do it different ways, meaning the same thing, and sign it different ways. So I sign it's your breath, which I'm going to show you, but I also sign your presence, because it's your breath in our lungs, to me, represents it's your presence in my life, that causes me to pour out my praise to you. So breath, you take one hand on top of the other, kind of like that, and can't show my full body here in the video here. So, and you bring it out and in, and that represents breath. It is basically a representation of the swelling and the contracting of your lungs and your abdomen. So when you deep breathe, you want to expand your lungs. You want to fill them so full that you are expanding them, and your chest rises and your belly gets full like a balloon in a sense. And then when you release it out, you bring it back in, and your chest goes down and your abdomen goes in. So don't worry about having a flat stomach when you're practicing this. You need that to get bigger, because that means you're getting more air in. And if you're used to shallow breathing like I always used to do, I even realized that at one point I was holding my breath under stress, literally holding my breath, that is not healthy. So check yourself. You may be doing that too at times. And that's when I learned about deep breathing and I realized I was doing that. I said, whoa, I got to correct this. And I did. And so with that, we are going to breathe in our nose, and you can breathe either out your nose or out your mouth. I prefer out my mouth because it's more intentional, that I'm breathing in through my nose and then out through my mouth. And sometimes just making that sound of you breathing out can kind of get you to realize you are getting all the breath out. So let's try this a few times, okay? So you can do the sign with me or not. I'm going to do the sign because you can't see my chest, and I want to show you that expanding, and that's what you want your chest and your stomach and your belly to do. So ready? We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Now, if you hold your breath for a couple seconds, that's actually good. It's good for your health. So I'm just going to demonstrate that on this. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So maybe you already feel calmer. It calms me down. And so I referred in my 7th video, which is called You Can Choose to Rest in Him and Experience God's Peace. If you ever want to look the video series up, you can put in Empowering You series, and you may have to go down a few, but I have them under that name, just so you know. But in that 7th one, I talked about taking 16 minutes every day. Dr. Caroline Leaf says it's very powerful for your mind, for refreshing your mind. Can't even say all the things that it does for you, but I've been doing it, and I sometimes miss a day. When it's a family day, I don't always do it, but I definitely try to make it an aim every day, and it's not always at the beginning of the day. A lot of times I do it right before I'm starting my creative work of my own coaching business and these videos that I'm doing and all the other things I'm doing. Dancing now, which, by the way, I'm going to talk about at the end, my new video I made today. So stay tuned for that at the end of this video. So the 16 minutes is a wonderful thing to do. Go back to that video and I talk about it. But you can deep breathe while you're doing the 16 minutes too, because this article recommended 10 to 20 minutes of deep breathing every day. You say, I'm not going to do that. Any amount that you do is going to help you. And when you do it, when you're calm and you're consciously thinking about it, and you do that on a regular basis and make a habit out of it, you're more likely going to do it when you're under stress. And that's what happened with me. I've remembered to do it, and I calm myself down when I'm under stress. So that is our song for the day. And the other 2 signs that go with it is your breath, your presence. Your is ownership. And so you take a flat hand, and if it's mine, I put it on my chest. And if it's yours, I put it out towards you. If it's God's, I do the flat hand up towards him, because we direct everything towards the right side of our body when we're signing And you're looking at it as left, but it's my right side. So your presence. So a good way to do it is my name is Julie. And what's your name? And I might say, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What is it? So, and you put that question mark on your face. So that's how you can kind of take ownership. It's an ownership sign. And the other sign is presence. So when I'm in presence, I bring it right back. Your presence. If you're just doing it one time, you kind of go like this up to God. That's the way it looks. Okay? But I like to make it dancey, so I might go your presence and make it kind of circular like that as I'm signing it, depending on the song and how it sounds. So in that song, I can say, it's your breath in our lungs. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So I pour out my praise to you only, God, which I taught all those signs so in other videos. So, you know, I interweave the two. It's your breath in our lungs. So I pour out my praise, pour out my praise. It's your presence in my life, and you can even do life. So I pour out my praise to you only, God. So that's what I wanted to share for today, to encourage you to deep breathe, make it a daily habit. If you only think to do it when you're on your bed going to sleep, that could help you calm down to go to sleep. And that's my cat scurrying around, by the way. So yeah, whenever you think of it, start doing it, and you'll hopefully do it more and more, and hopefully you'll see the advantage of it. And it can help to decrease your anxiety. It can help to bring health to your body. It can help you focus on God, focus on the good things, and get yourself ready for your quiet time. Or maybe after your quiet time you do it, before your quiet time, to help you enter into that. During your soaking time to Christian music, which is what I do during that 16 minutes, if you're going to do that, which I really encourage you to do. And so I have a part 2 to this where I share how you can incorporate declarations with the breathing. And really, it's like breathing in the good and out the bad. So stay tuned for part 2, which is going to be in 2 weeks. And I also go over a different song that kind of is a good song to actually do the breathing to. You can time it that way, and it works really nice. So stay tuned for that. But next week, I'm excited to tell you that I have my first choreographed line dance video up that I did today at a friend's house. She has a like a stage, what do you call it? Curtain. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. She has a stage curtain. And so it was really exciting for her to invite me over when I told her, because I told her I was going to choreograph a line dance. She said, I want to learn. And then, you know, she ended up inviting me over to do it there. So it's a pretty professional video. It's my most professional video I've done anyway. So I hope you all enjoy it. Might be a little humor at the end if I leave the ending on or not. So please do watch it. It will be uploaded next Friday morning, because that's when I upload my weekly video at 7 a.m. Eastern time on Fridays. Sometimes I include a second one in once in a while during the week, but that's my upload time. So if you have not subscribed and hit the bell, please do so. When you hit the bell after you subscribe, that will, on your white screen on the front of your phone, you will see when those get uploaded. So that'll help you to catch those. And you can watch them whenever you want to, or not. But thank you for being with me today. I hope this video and what I shared will help you. And God bless you. Signing off. Julie K, helping you find your way through grief and trauma. Bye-bye.